candidates come to speak, kindly give them your ears, listen to what they have for us. For the main aim of establishing the Law Society of Kenya as the premier bar body within Africa and the world. Without much ado, I wish to invite Mr. Mangerere, who will give us a brief remark. He is not a candidate. He is a member of the society who just wishes to share what, in his view, we should consider when we are selecting and electing our candidates in the forthcoming.
For Mr. Mwamu, all along, he has been a standing president of LSK. You know, sometimes he tried, and because of a few complications, he didn't get it, and everybody knew very well that he won that particular time. But since there was no politics then, we did not have the means of getting him into that chair. But now, since these are starting to become a political affair, we have the correct president of the LSK. Everybody knows Mr. Mwamu to be a stable man, a religious man, a family man, who can put LSK where it's supposed to be. I know there are so many people outside there who are saying, and who are very intolerant, in fact. When you give your divergent opinion, they want to lynch you. But what I can tell you is that this time we are determined to put the correct person in the office. Yes. And because we are all here, and we have candidates who want to support that correct person in that particular office, we will make our hands dirty for a while and get the correct person in the office. And the correct person is who? Mwamu. Is there anybody who has a divergent opinion and is seated in this room? I'll be surprised. We have all come here because we are supporting who? Mr. Mwamu. So we have a hard job ahead of us, because we know other Johnny come-lates have come up with ideas which they could not propagate then. They want to propagate them now. We know them, isn't it? Some of us have been in the field for some time, and I encourage young lawyers not to be confused. Do not be confused with these shenanigans of some guys, some Johnny come-late guys, who want to tell us that they can make LSK a better place. The issue about the arbitration center is what people are looking for. And what I'm telling him, Mwamu, I've not talked to him, I'm telling him, if lawyers are not happy with the arbitration center, leave it alone, shelve it until when they are ready to do what? To support it. If there are issues that are coming, like now, there is an issue they are talking about the insurance, the fidelity insurance issue. I don't think it is Mwamu who drafted it. It has been discussed in Parliament and moved. So that cannot be used as a ground of telling us now you are bringing new ideas to the table. Please, let's work together. And we know election, politics is a strategy. And if we have our strategy right, we'll have Mwamu as the president of LSK. And I think we should think right from the end towards the beginning. Mwamu is already seated there. We are only putting out some structures so that he sits properly in that seat as the president of LSK. So let's work together, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, and the job has started now.
As we sang the national anthem a while ago, the words "Justice be our shield and defender" came to my mind. And the Law Society is the foremost society that ensures that justice will be our shield and defender. And it is for that reason that it is so important, it is so crucial that you as advocates, when you go out to vote on January the 25th, you ask yourself, who will be my shield and defender? Who is that person who has the courage? Who is that person who will not be blinded? Because we need to bring the different views that exist within the Law Society closer together. We have values as a society such as we should be tolerant and respectful. Some of these values have been broken, and we need to fix it. We will fix it by your vote. You need to vote right this time around.
I met Mr James Aggrey Mwamu. And at first I thought, who calls their child Aggrey? I wondered, well, what is that? And then after that, I met this James Aggrey Mwamu in Milimani Courts. at the industrial courts, and he was passionately representing the client. I sat down, I still have that habit of seeing senior lawyers presenting and doing their submissions and sitting down to listen, and he did a super work. After that, I just said hi to him, and the warmth that he received me with, it was just out of this world. So James Aggrey Mwamu is an accessible person. The reason why I have, as young as I was then, I was able to interact with them, the council members. It was a very high pitch out there, and I was so young. But I was able even to get his number. We could talk. And 3 years ago, I took him to Kampala and we made him the president of East Africa. So ladies and gentlemen, all I want to say is the person before you who is being presented for the seat is a warm person, is an accessible person, is a person. The Law Society currently is at crossroads. We cannot deny ourselves that fact. We need a sober mind. We need a person who can stand up and warmly but firmly make decisions that need to be made as we go forward. So today I have no fear as I endorse my good friend James Aggrey Mwamu on the seat of the presidency. We as Mount Kenya, we have decided and we have said it is sobriety. We love our society so much, we cannot let it be ruined. And that is why we have said with one voice that we want James Aggrey Mwamu.
I also endorse Mr. Mwamu for the few days I've been able to interact with him. I've been able to realize that he's a people's servant. He's always ready to push a chair, pick something that is down. He's really a people's servant.
As a young lawyer, it is unfortunate that, or rather, it will not be fair for me to glorify myself without identifying the people who have contributed in me today. Mwamu, I must say, he is one of them. I have never gotten an opportunity to tell him thank you. Now I say thank you. You have made me. And I'm here today because of many of you Mwamu. There are very many Mwamus out there. And by virtue of that, I have always felt it is my obligation to step up, step out, and also mentor others.
Flexible, reliable, and easy to deal with. I request you to vote for him, and I also request you to vote for
this kind of work. So Mwamu, I'm grateful. These people have followed their footsteps, people like Mwamu, people like Tomo Nienda, leader Rene Omondi here. Leadership is not an easy task. It needs a steadfast person. Really, I should have spoken earlier, but just allow me to take maybe another extra 2 minutes. So leadership is not an easy task. You need leaders who can be able to stand up and be counted, and leaders who can be able to make tough decisions. I remember one of the speakers came here and he said that we don't have to make that mistake, because the moment we have a president who cannot make tough decisions, then as a society will not move forward.
I'm delighted to be here with you this evening. Today is not my day, today is Mwamu's day. That's why let me say something briefly about my brother Mwamu. I first met Mwamu in 1999. I was a newly admitted lawyer, and I went to Kisumu for a matter. And my first impression of him was that he was very intelligent, very articulate, and a very, very able litigation lawyer.
Sui generis. I'm sure most of us know what sui generis stands for. Law Society of Kenya, we are a distinguished class. We are the learned friends, and therefore we belong to a certain class of elitism. And elitism in terms of understanding where you come from, the sacrifices you make, and the role we have to play in society. And therefore,
For myself, when I spoke to Mr. Mwamu, on diverse occasions he's spoken to us as young lawyers. I served in the Young Lawyers Committee, and the one word that came from it, and which I would like us to go, if you're going to remember, and I've introduced him, is the word sui generis. But sui generis is not understood in the common way we understand in law in terms of class of its own, but it's broken down into the sui. And what do we mean by sui? We mean soberness, unity, and integrity. And that's what Mwamu is going to stand for. Where we are calling for soberness in leadership, we are calling for unity amongst ourselves as lawyers, and we are calling for integrity as in terms of leadership. And therefore, for myself, I believe Mwamu stands for that, and as young lawyers, senior counsel, if I may call you that, we endorse you. We believe you can be able to bring the sui, which will make us as a society sui generis. And for myself, just it's one thing to talk and say, you know, I believe Mwamu is like this, he has these qualities of a leader. But as we move forward, as young lawyers, we want to see strategic leadership. We have to rethink and we have to recast the way we are living ourselves. And in myself, I believe the sui stands for what our young lawyers want to do. We want to have sober leadership. We have issues, we know the IS went on and everything was transforming itself before my own eyes. I realized we need soberness in dealing with these issues. They are not yet resolved. There can be permanent solutions. There can be temporary solutions, pressures, as young lawyers are going to be addressed. And unity. We have various factions, and it's very unfortunate as a society, we need to move forward. If the country is going to listen to us, if the country is going to have a voice, we have to be united. And therefore we call for unity as young lawyers, and we call for integrity. When issues of accounting, issues of auditing, issues of coming to social media, issues of all those who are spoken in diverse occasions in the LSK, in the CLE meeting, one of them was on professional ethics. Some of the things that arise is issues of integrity. Therefore, as young lawyers, we're standing here, we are saying we are also, you know, the rules have been lifted up. The month before benefited in terms of starting your own practice. And some of the things we want to see, what are the integrity issues that are there? When you're bidding for, let's say, jobs with the panels, the various panels, or if you're bidding for various recognition, are there integrity, are there rules that have done mentorship? And some of the things we push for is mentorship of young lawyers together with our convener Harriet. I also serve at the university, and this mentorship is also coming to raise young lawyers who are going to grow up and change our society. So it becomes one word which I've said, sui generis. And therefore, Mr. Mwamu, senior counsel, when you come, we pray for you, carry the mantle, and let our society be called the sui generis, so that we're going to be reclaiming our society back, as we say. We're going to rethink how we're going to have our leadership, and we're going to recast it into a strategic kind of leadership, so that as a society, we are sui generis, we are leading our voice in the country. And I believe, as I leave this podium, senior counsel, I look forward to working with you as a young lawyer to bring forward the society to where it has been, and come from February 2016, I'll be calling you my president, the one and only who will bring the sui generis back to the law society. Thank you.